You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, woo, wheeling dealing, limousine riding, jet flying, son of a gun, and I'm having a hard time holding these alligators down. Woo!
You are watching the leaders in full immersion gaming, and this is the pregame show only on the NBL Network.
What is going on, everyone? Welcome to another edition of the NBL Live pregame show, and that's brought to you each and every week by our graphics sponsor, Web3KS.com. They do that overlay here on NBL Live, a ton of other graphics for all of our network shows, so if you need graphics done for an affordable price, head over to Web3KS.com. They are the leaders in affordable graphics design. Thanks for hanging out with us, folks. I'm OSU. I'm hanging with my man, Lip, taking you up to this Week 4 matchup between the Indianapolis Colts and the Seattle Seahawks. Now, before we get to the game, which I know everybody is clamoring to get to, let's let you know what's going on around the network. And of course, tomorrow night, Friday night's our podcast night here on the NBL Network. And releasing tomorrow is the NBL Blitz podcast hosted by TFA and Chunky. Lip, a very interesting episode. They'll be talking about the quarterback saga in Seattle. Again, both Trevon Boykin and Russell Wilson going down for Seattle in last week's game. Blair Walsh having to play quarterback, and they'll be talking about what new signee Austin Davis does, as well as what Chad Kelly has been able to do in Denver. Lip, he had a tough first game on NBL Live, really struggled under the bright lights, but he just came off a big overtime win over the Oakland Raiders. Chad Kelly very well might be the real deal in Denver.
Yeah, I think he is, and it's surprising to see them go with the young guy right off the bat. I didn't expect them to go with him. He was really under the radar, like you said. Everybody thought it was going to be Lynch or Simeon, and they go with Chad Kelly, and he's actually not having a bad season to start. 5 touchdowns, 2 interceptions right now. That's extremely impressive for the young guy who has no experience, 7th-round pick. That is one of the most surprising things, and I can't wait to hear those guys talk about it this weekend.
Yeah, Mr. Irrelevant, not so irrelevant anymore in Denver. The NBL Blitz podcast, again, hosted by TFA and Chunky. That'll be releasing tomorrow night. All right, let's take a look at some players to watch in tonight's game between the Seahawks and the Colts. Let's first look on the Seattle side of the ball. And who else but their defensive leader, Cliff Averill, defensive end. What a season this guy's having so far. Only 3 games in. He already has 4.5 sacks, another 3 tackles for loss. This guy is a beast, Lip. He's tough to deal with in the pass game. He's so quick getting around those tackles, but sort of underrated in the run game. He's so good at collapsing in those gaps. What sort of effect is Cliff Averill going to have in the game today?
Well, he's such a smart player and obviously extremely gifted and talented physically, especially 6'3". This dude is a monster. And the thing is about him, he's actually one of the quicker guys out there on the defensive line. He's not the strongest guy, but he can make moves. Very good technique, and with that size and speed, like you said, he can do it all. Rush the passer, contain the run. This is going to be a nightmare for opposing quarterbacks, especially on this defense.
And on the flip side, on the Indianapolis Colts, who else to talk about but Andrew Luck, the quarterback, having a nice year so far, completing over 60% of his passes. He's got a quarterback rating of 98.2, 6 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. Look, this was a Colts team coming in, new owner tout with the Indianapolis Colts. A lot of people didn't know what to make of this Colts team. Out of the box is a team that isn't the most talented, but they're sitting there at 2-1. Their only loss being to the Cleveland Browns, a very good team out in Cleveland. What is to make of this Colts team? Is this a team that could possibly, especially with a win tonight over a good Seattle team, is this a team to look out for in the AFC South?
Oh, 100%, and I would not have ever said that 4 weeks ago. Never would have expected this team to be this good, and I think that they're going to compete with this division. Todd's very good on offense. The coaches there really put a good scheme in there. Fits Andrew Luck in this passing game. He doesn't have a whole lot of help, but I expect them, now that I see that they're putting it together, I expect them to compete for the division title. Those 2 owners, Todd and Sonny, have some history. Justin's there too. I look for that to be a really interesting thing going down the stretch here to end the season. But Andrew Luck is really surprising us, and the Colts are a surprising team for sure.
Yeah, we're about ready to send it out to the game, but we got to get your prediction first, Lip. Again, the big injury in this game is Seattle is going to be starting Austin Davis, just signed this week, starting him here in Week 4 with the injuries to both Russell Wilson and Trevon Boykin. Lip, most people would think Seattle is the favorite with their starting quarterbacks, but a big unknown at the quarterback position. Who do you like in this game? Are the Colts going to come in and get a big win in Seattle? A very tough place to play with Andrew Luck at the helm, the known commodity. Or is Austin Davis, just signed this week, going to lead Seattle and this very talented defense to a big win in Week 4?
This is a very tough one. I think there's something on each side that kind of brings this matchup closer together. You have Andrew Luck leading the offense for the Colts, but he's going up against such a tough defense. I think that he's going to turn the ball over a couple times and kind of put them in a bad spot a time or two. And then on the other side, like you said, Russell Wilson's out. They're looking for a guy that can try to make plays. I'm not sure this is the guy. If they can run the ball well, if Seattle can run the ball well, they have a better shot. But I'm actually going to go against the good defense of the Seattle Seahawks. I'm going to go with the Colts. Wow. I think that they're going to win 17-9. I don't think the Seahawks are. I don't think the Seahawks are going to get in the end zone. I think it's going to be 3 field goals, and Andrew Luck's going to find a way to put up 17 points and get the win against Seattle.
Wow, a big prediction there. And guys, get your predictions into the chat. Tell us who you think is going to win. Should be a barn burner here on NBL Live, and we're ready to send it out to the game. Coming up next, it's Week 4 action, broadcast number 122 here on NBL Live. It's the Indianapolis Colts and the Seattle Seahawks, and it's coming up right now here on NBL Live.
My name is Rex Dixon.
Jake Stein.
Clint from EA Sports.
You're watching NBL.
You're watching the NBL Network. And you're watching the MBLN Network.
Empty backfield for Atkins. He's going to be dropping back to pass here on 4th down. He's looking deep over the middle. He has a man. It's Brandon Cooks who catches and makes a man miss.
Oh, that's
Woodard is dropping back. He's got open over the middle.
Wow. That big playmaker ability as he finds him again.
Into the end zone. Another touchdown. What a game we have in store tonight, folks. We appreciate everybody tuning into NBL Live, broadcast number 122. We got a great game, Week 4 action between the Indianapolis Colts and the Seattle Seahawks. Now, Lip, let me ask you a question. We got Austin Davis starting in Seattle today, and we know how good Russell Wilson has been at the helm and how much talent they have at the wide receiver position, but how important is chemistry between a quarterback and a wide receiver, and how can a guy like Austin Davis maybe offset that lack of chemistry coming in for his first game?
That's going to be very tough. That's one of the big things. You've got to know the timing. You've got to know your receivers. And whenever you're just coming in, you've got maybe a week, maybe less of practice. It's going to be very tough to really get in that groove, get in that rhythm. It's going to rely heavily on the run game. If they can get the run game going and put one-on-one coverage outside on those receivers, that is going to help out big time, but it's still going to be very tough because, like I said, you only have a week of practicing the timing with these guys. It's going to be very difficult to start here.
Here's the actual real question. How much of a defensive benefit is it for the Seattle Seahawks having the blinding neon green uniforms? Will that hurt Andrew Luck at all?
Well, you would think that would be easy to see, and you would want to stay away from those guys. It's pretty easy to tell white from neon green, so let's hope he can do that tonight.
Austin Davis getting the start, and he hands it off to Thomas Rawls over the left side. He's going to lose 3 yards on the play. And Lip, you have to agree that Thomas Rawls is going to be a big key in this game with a new quarterback. Getting that running game going early will be huge if Seattle can win this game.
Yeah, and you know we've seen Thomas Rawls do some really incredible things whenever he gets the ball 15 times, 20 times a game. That's what they're going to have to do because I'm not too confident in Austin Davis just to start off the game. I need them to get into a rhythm first.
And Davis dumps it off to the tight end, Jimmy Graham, who actually fumbles it, but it's out of bounds. He's going to get 8 yards on the play. A nice route there, but a big hit on the sidelines, and I think Jimmy Graham's going to be feeling that one tomorrow morning.
I think Jimmy Graham just took a little little nap time there. He got popped so hard. But I like it. I like the pass. I like the, go to the flat. Get that first completion. Don't worry about forcing it and picking up a first down right now. Just get into the groove, and that's a good start.
It's got to be nice for Austin Davis in his first game as a Seahawk, getting to play at home, not have to dealing with that opposing crowd here. He's got a big opportunity here to make a statement. 3rd and 6, Rawls going in motion. Davis dropping back to pass, pressure coming right up the middle, and down goes Davis. Ridgeway with the tackle, and look, we've saw in the last 2 plays, that could be a matchup to watch. Those interior defensive tackles, they're creating a havoc in the middle of that Seattle offensive line, and they're able to get in the backfield and get a big sack on 3rd down.
Yeah, that's one of the most suspect things about this team is their offensive line. Can they protect the quarterback? With 2 injured quarterbacks so far, it looks like they can't. You got to keep a halfback or a tight end to try to keep blocking going.
If you were Russell Wilson or Trevon Boykin, are you asking for the offensive line to chip in on those medical bills? Because I feel like they're sort of a big part of this issue.
Yeah, well, you know Russell Wilson, and I'm sure Boykin's taking that same leadership role and not blaming anybody. They'll just, sit on the sidelines, heal up, and then get ready to get back in the action once they're ready to go.
He may not be outwardly blaming everybody, but when he goes home and talks to his wife, he is saying some mean things about that offensive line that laid them both out in one game against the Tennessee Titans. Now we get to see Andrew Luck and this offense of the Indianapolis Colts come out and get an opportunity to get in an early lead. It's Luck in the shotgun, 3 wide receiver split, 2 to the right, 1 to the left, and he's going to hand it off on 1st down. And a nice run there by Mack up to the 39-yard line. Give him 5 yards on the play. Going to bring up a 2nd and 5.
Mack is an interesting guy. He's 6 foot tall, not too fast, but there's a lot of people that really like him. Your options were Frank Gore or Marlon Mack, and you go with the younger guy, and I like this kid. I don't know why. I think that other people like him too. I don't know if that's why. I just have heard his name, and I think that he could be a really good back to replace Frank Gore. Yeah,
Marlon Mack, the rookie out of, I believe it was Central Florida, a 4th-round pick. South Florida. Shout out to the Bulls at USF. Nothing going on that play, though. He's going to lose 2 yards. Going to bring up a 3rd and 7. And so far early, the defense making a statement in the first quarter.
And that's what we expected. I expected the Seattle Seahawks to kind of be suffocating. I think that Andrew Luck's going to put together a couple drives, but I do think he's going to make a mistake or two that's going to put them in bad positions. I hope that it isn't going to start right now. First drive, so let's just see what Andrew Luck does. I hope he doesn't panic right here.
Yeah, big 3rd and 7 here for Luck and the Colts. The Seattle Seahawks showing blitz on this play. Shotgun formation. Andrew Luck dropping back to pass here on 3rd and 7. And he's looking deep over the left side. On that one, I don't know if the defender got a hand in there or it might have been just a stone-cold drop. Either way, it's a 3-and-out for the Indianapolis Colts, and they're going to have to punt it away to the Seattle Seahawks.
That's a tough defense to run in that spot. That should have been wide open. That guy just could not get the separation that he needed. The middle was wide open. Could not get his hands on the ball and come up with the catch. That's heartbreaking for the Colts right there.
Yeah, that's a big loss there for the Indianapolis Colts, who are hoping to get something going after they got a nice stop on Seattle. Instead, well, the Seattle's going to get the ball back, and another opportunity for Austin Davis and this offense to come out and show what they're made of. Again, Austin Davis signed just this week after the injuries to Russell Wilson and Trevon Boykin. He's in the shotgun here, 1st and 10. It's going to be Davis attempting a pass here on 1st down, and he's looking to lob this out to Jimmy Graham, who has it, and he has the 1st down, makes a man miss. Oh no, Jimmy Graham, the big fella, can he get to the end zone? No, he is brought down at the 4-yard line. But what a nice confidence boost for Austin Davis. Throw it up to your big tight end and let him rumble down the sidelines.
Jimmy Graham is a big man, 6'7", and you just threw it over the defender, let him go get it. He's making up for that play previously where he went to sleep for a little bit, fumbled the football out of bounds. He's coming back. That's very impressive to see that throw down the field with such accuracy. I'm actually extremely impressed by the touch on that pass.
Yeah, and Jimmy Graham, an opportunity for a little redemption. He's been a little disappointing in Seattle, but wants to prove that he can be a top tight end here in the NBL. I formation. Davis going to hand this off to Thomas Rawls, and Thomas Rawls, wow, it looked like he might have had an opportunity to get in the end zone. He tried to hit that little juke move in the hole. He's brought down short of the goal line. Something we don't see too often from Thomas Rawls, getting a little too fancy as he gets near the end zone.
Yeah, I love the run there. I hope that they continue to run. I'm not sure how Austin Davis is going to handle the tight space down here inside the 5. Just keep giving it the Rawls. Worst thing, you take a field goal.
2nd and goal, and it is going to be Thomas Rawls once again. And the Indianapolis Colts must have been listening to your commentary there, as they were well prepared for that run right up the middle. They bring him down for a 1-yard loss. Now a big 3rd and goal for the Seattle Seahawks, looking to get the first points of the game.
Yeah, this is okay. This is fine. You run it here. If you get stuffed again, it's okay. Take the 3 points and rely on that defense. You know you've got an inexperienced quarterback running the offense, so take the points. Don't force him into a situation where he could make a bad decision and give the ball back to the Colts.
3rd and goal. Ball on the 2-yard line. Flag down on the play. Davis is going to be throwing it, and he finds Graham in the back of the end zone. Let's see what the flag is for. It is... Oh, no, he did not catch it. They're saying he was out of bounds in the back of the end zone. I don't know. I'd love to see another look on that one. He looked perfectly inbounds to me, but if he was out of bounds, Jimmy Graham, the veteran, not knowing where he is on the field.
I got really excited that Jimmy Graham finished what he started with this drive, and I think that's a terrible call. I cannot believe that they called him out of bounds there. Austin Davis had the free play, found the open man. Should have been a touchdown in my opinion.
Well, now, I guess another breath of life here for the Seattle Seahawks. 3rd and goal, I formation. It's going to be a handoff to Thomas Rawls. Thomas Rawls is going to get into the end zone. Let's stop messing around. Give it to the big fella. He runs it in from 1 yard out, in Seattle with an early 6-0 lead here at home.
That's exactly what we wanted. Thomas Rawls punched it in. Now you're up, hopefully 7 points. And now you get to put the defense to put pressure on Andrew Luck. This is a great position with an inexperienced quarterback for the Seattle Seahawks.
I don't know if you noticed this, Lip. This is how depleted they are. Austin Davis, also the field goal holder. That's how little players they have. But I gotta say, super impressed by Austin Davis on that second drive. He seemed incredibly composed, and on the couple passes that he had, he was putting the ball right on the mark.
Yeah, and I will admit, I was surprised. That throw to Jimmy Graham, corner route, was just so perfect. I did not expect that from the inexperienced quarterback, but as you bring that up that he's also holding, they better hope that he does not get hurt, or they might go back to the same situation that they were in against the Titans a few nights ago.
Blair Walsh with 2 quarters of quarterbacking under his belt. He might be more prepared this time. You don't know. 1st and 10 for the Indianapolis Colts, looking to answer that Seahawks touchdown. 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers for Andrew Luck. He's got Mack in the backfield, as I so want to make a Macfield reference. But anywho, it's going to be a quick corner route. It is complete for Andrew Luck. It's a 1st down at the 37-yard line. Give him 13 yards on that play.
Not to get completely off topic here, but we talk about the Mac. We talked about Burger King last night. That reminds me of the days when NBL was pushing hard for that Grand Mac sponsorship.
Where is I am sad. I'm truly saddened, and I know it's gonna be shocking to everybody out there, but a fat guy is saddened that they got rid of the Grand Mac. Shocking.
Rest in peace.
Rip the Grand Mac. 1st and 10. Andrew Luck under center. He's got Mack in the backfield. 2 wide receivers, 1 to each side. 1st and 10, and Luck is going to go back and hand it off to Mack over the left side of that formation, and nothing doing there. He's going to get 2 yards out of that play, bring it down to a 2nd and 8.
I think maybe we saw a little bit of inexperience there from Mack. It looked like he had a hole. Maybe he was panicking a little bit whenever he saw all those talented linebackers coming across the line at him. Might have been able to squeak through and pick up a huge gain there, but kind of runs into his own guy and then ends up getting tackled.
It's interesting to look at the stats on the right side of that screen there, Lip. These are 2 guys, 14th and 15th, 2 teams very similar offensive rank, but polar opposites of how they got there. The Seattle Seahawks, one of the worst passing offenses, but a great rushing offense, top 5. The Colts right on the other side, they're the number 2 passing attack in the NBL, and the worst rushing attack. So you got a dichotomy here between these 2 teams, and we'll see if they're going to be forced to use their weak side. Is this going to be a handoff to Mack once again? This running game cannot get going, and that might be due to this Indianapolis Colts offensive line compared to all the other offensive lines across the NBL. Not one of the most talented, and they're kind of playing poorly right now.
Yeah, the left side of that line is okay, but the right side has got some age to it. It's got some inexperience as well. And I just wish that they could protect Andrew Luck and run the ball, because I like the move going away from Frank Gore and going with Mack, because I think he can bring some life to this offense. You just got to give the offensive line and Mack time to gel to start picking up yards.
Shotgun formation, Andrew Luck dropping back to pass here on 3rd and 6. Rush gets there. He somehow gets it off and unable to come up with the catch. It was a tough one. Probably lucky he didn't get called for a horse collar tackle there over the left side, but Andrew Luck standing in the pocket and delivering a strike. Nonetheless, the defense comes up with a stop and another punt here for the Indianapolis Colts.
That's heartbreaking. Kamari Aiken, you've got to come up with that ball. Andrew Luck takes a punishing hit. He puts everything out there so that you can make a play, and you just cannot come up with the ball. That is just tough to watch there. Very, very impressed with Andrew Luck standing there and taking that hit.
Now the Indianapolis Colts defense going to have to come up with some stops here to keep him in this game. The #1 passing defense in the NBL as of right now, the Indianapolis Colts, something I don't think anybody thought we'd be saying here, even early in the season. Seattle up 7-0 though here at home, and it's going to be Austin Davis breaking the huddle. He's got bunch formation to the right. Doug Baldwin alone to the left side. Thomas Rawls in the backfield as we're nearing the end of the first quarter. Graham coming in motion. On 1st and 10, it's going to be handoff to Thomas Rawls. And Rawls takes a big hit, and he goes down. And there's an injury on the play. I don't know who it was. Couldn't see who is the injured player. But only a yard on that play. A nice stop there by the Indianapolis Colts.
It doesn't look like that was Thomas Rawls, but maybe a defensive lineman for the Indianapolis Colts, and that could be good for the Seattle Seahawks. You know, they're not really running the ball well, but maybe if you get one of those talented guys out of the middle there, that'll open up some running lanes for Thomas Rawls.
And Thomas Rawls going down there, he's going to lose 2 yards there, 6 carries, -1 yards and a touchdown. That's an impressive stat line, but once again, another opportunity where if Rawls just hits that hole, at least he gets a couple yards. Instead, he tries to do a big juke move, and he's brought down by one of the interior defensive linemen.
I don't know if Thomas Rawls has the Colts defense in fantasy this week or something. It looked like he was trying to get tackled.
That would make sense. That would make sense.
That guy. I don't understand that unnecessary move there.
And Austin Davis trying to throw the screen pass. Lucky that's not intercepted, as it was Javon Curse off the right side of the field who went down with an injury. We'll see what they decide to do. They're saying it's not serious, but we'll see if we see Curse later in this game. If we don't, that's a big loss for the Seattle Seahawks receiving corps, hoping to support the inexperienced and new quarterback, Austin Davis.
A chippy wide receiver out there probably got into a little blocking battle away from the play. It's sad to see him get hurt on that, though.
Yeah, luckily it does look like it's not serious, but we're at the end of the first quarter, and Seattle with an early lead, 7-0 here at home. Indianapolis with the ball, though. We appreciate everybody tuning in here to NBL Live broadcast number 122. We got Week 4 action between the Colts and the Seahawks. I'm OSU. I'm hanging out with my man, Lip. And we appreciate each and every one of you taking time out of your Thursday evening with that warm-up, because tonight, Lip, NFL season actually finally gets underway.
Finally.
It has been a long wait, and I am super excited for, well, not only this game, but for this game to get over so I can go watch the other guys.
This is such a good time of the year. You have NBL Live just before actual NFL games. You have just a whole night of football, multiple nights of the week. It's such a great time of the year.
It is absolutely beautiful. The only sad part is it means summer is ending. But on 1st and 10, it's a play-action pass, and Andrew Luck's going to get this one off over to the right side. It is complete to the 47-yard line. Nice job by Luck, standing in the face of pressure once again. And he's able to throw that little quick out route over on the right side of the field. It is a first down for the Indianapolis Colts, as the Colts looking to answer the Seattle Seahawks, get some points on the board, and we finally got to see Dante Moncrief come up with a big catch there.
Luck has looked really impressive in the pocket. He's had some pressure. He's had to make some quick throws, and he's making them right. Sometimes his guys just do not come up with the catch, but I'm actually very impressed with the protection and the courage of Andrew Luck right now.
1st and 10, play action pass. Luck going to be passing it once again. Looking over the middle of the field, throws it into coverage. It gets batted all the way across the field, and right with the interception, and Andrew Luck making the touchdown-saving tackle. Oh, so much to dissect on that play, Lip. First, the big deflection that comes all the way across the field, and then Andrew Luck making up for his mistake by saving a touchdown from the Seattle defense.
Right, all the way on the opposite side of the field from that throw. Ball gets batted down, goes right to him. Look what I found. He's got the ball back for his offense. That was quite a play there.
And Austin Davis just getting that one off before the pressure got there. And looks like the tight end looking for a flag there. Got grabbed right in the middle of the field. But a big opportunity here for Davis and the offense to go up by 2 scores. The first turnover of the game is by Andrew Luck. And, you know, a little bad luck for lack of a better term, I'm so sorry for the amount of luck puns that will be tonight. A little bit of bad luck there, Lip, with that ball getting batted across the field, but he threw it into triple coverage. That was a bad throw to begin with.
Yeah, either worst case, it was an incompletion.
Thomas Rawls on the option.
He's
going to get out of here. Austin Davis running the speed option with Thomas Rawls, and Rawls goes 56 yards to the house. I don't think I saw Austin Davis coming into Seattle and running a little speed option. Could not tell if that was Austin Davis or Cam Newton in the backfield. Either way, it's a touchdown for the Seattle Seahawks as they are going to kick the extra point. It's up and it's good. They're up 14-0. What are we seeing from the Seattle Seahawks offense?
I am actually,
that's my reaction.
I'm trying to find words for this because I don't know if anybody really expected it, but Austin Davis actually isn't that, unathletic of a quarterback. He has a little bit of mobility to him, a quicker quarterback as far as quarterbacks go. So, yes, that was surprising to see, but once you think about it, that's actually a play that Russell Wilson could run, and they just left it in because they knew Austin Davis could run it, and that's impressive, and I admire the courage and the guts that the coaching staff has in Austin Davis to run that.
I'm no expert. I just don't think we're going to see Andrew Luck and his roughly 5'4", 40 speed running this speed option in Indianapolis. They're just going to let him throw it as he sets up a screen to the left side for Mack. That was a beautiful spin move, but there was nobody to fake out there. So we have another injury on the play. It goes for 0 yards. It's going to bring up a 2nd and 10.
That's a trend that I'm seeing. I'm seeing a bunch of unnecessary, flashy, fancy moves that I think if guys just put their head down, hit the hole, make one guy miss by running by him, bowling him over. Just get rid of the spins and the jukes and all this fancy stuff. Just play football, and I think you'll pick up much more yards than currently with these fancy moves.
2nd and 10 now for the Indianapolis Colts. Luck in the shotgun. He's got 3 wide receivers over to the left, dropping back to pass here on 2nd and 10. And boy, he had all the time in the world and just could not find anyone open. Cliff Avrils with the sack. We're getting word that the injury was to Earl Thomas, and he will not return to the game. Could be out for an extended period of time. That's a big loss for this this team that needs some help in the secondary.
That's a huge loss, but maybe they'll bring in Bradley McDougald. He's not a bad safety. Obviously, playing behind Cam Chancellor and Earl Thomas, you're learning something. This is a good defensive system.
Welcome to the network,
maybe
baby.
That won't be such a tough loss, a back-breaking loss like it would be for most teams, but you can't excuse losing Earl Thomas. That's going to be devastating for this defense.
A 3rd and 21. We got a flag on the play, and it looks like it's going to turn into a 3rd and 26. And you're facing a 3rd and 26. How many plays do you have to convert this first down?
I have a halfback draw to pick up 5 or 6 yards and punt the ball away, because on the 9 you have no reason or time or any reason to turn the ball over here. This is not good.
Luck in the pocket. He's going to go for it, taking a deep shot down the left side, and he comes up with a catch and drops it. That was T.Y. Hilton had an opportunity for the catch. It would have been a miracle play. Instead, the Colts are going to be forced to punt it away and give Seattle great field goal position, and that may be a play we look back on the game, Lip, and say that could be a backbreaker. As with that catch, the Colts stay in this game. Instead, the big man, T.Y. Hilton, could not come up with the big play. And the Seattle Seahawks are going to get great field position at the 44-yard line.
If I'm the coach of the Colts, I'm taking these wide receivers and we're doing nothing but catching drills all day, all night. You're not running routes. You're not doing anything. You're working on your hands because the drops that I'm seeing, it's just killing Andrew Luck tonight. And that was actually impressive. They go right after the safety that just came in to replace Earl Thomas, and you come up with such a beautiful play and you drop the ball literally, and that's so tough to watch. We've seen it multiple times so far tonight.
1st and 10 for the Seahawks. Going to be hand off to Thomas Rawls right up the middle. Bounces off one tackle. He's going to get to the first down marker up to the 45-yard line. 11 yards on that run. Rawls already 2 touchdowns on the game. And you can see early the Seattle Seahawks with Austin Davis at quarterback going to rely on that number 4 rushing attack and make sure they give Thomas Rawls plenty of carries.
I think that we're seeing the wear take effect on this defense for the Colts. Thomas Rawls starting to get it going now. He's shown the flash to the outside. You've got to be concerned about that. It's opening things up in the middle in the run game.
Davis gets absolutely clobbered on that throw. It falls to the ground incomplete. Lucky that one Didn't pop out of his hands. He is able to get that throw off. It's going to bring up a 2nd and 10 for the Seattle Seahawks, up 14-0. We appreciate everybody tuning in here to NBL Live, broadcast number 122. This is some Week 4 action between the Seattle Seahawks and the Indianapolis Colts. Seattle, 2 early touchdowns from Thomas Rawls, 1 from 1 yard out, 1 a speed option from 56 yards away, And Thomas Rawls able to get into the end zone twice and give Seattle this early lead. Again, no Russell Wilson, no Trevon Boykin, both injured. Austin Davis signed this week to start for the Seattle Seahawks after they were forced to play with Blair Walsh, the kicker, at quarterback in the second half of their game against the Titans. 2nd and 10. Davis going to be throwing this one. He throws it into double coverage. That one pops up in the air, but the Colts can't come up with the interception. Incomplete pass, going to bring up a 3rd and 10.
If he would have just hung in the pocket a little longer, he had Curse on a post there. The linebacker came up to take away that dig. Just one of those things that you're going to see from a quarterback who doesn't have a lot of experience. He wants to get the ball out quick, and they're trying to keep it simple for him. If he could have just got to his second read, they could have had a nice gain there.
Yeah, trying to find that chemistry with his new group of wide receivers. Davis comes out shotgun formation, 3rd and 10, looking to convert off that big stop on the last drive, getting them great field position. It's going to be Austin Davis dropping back to pass here on 3rd and 10, and he is looking over to the right side, trying to find Jimmy Graham, and Graham is able to come up with a big catch at the 30-yard line, right in front of 3 defenders. He got absolutely walloped as he caught it, but Graham's 3rd catch of the day is a big one as he gives Seattle a 1st down on the 30-yard line.
That took some guts to lob that ball over there. I don't know if Austin thought he had a little bit more time before that corner could come back down on the play, but you got to give it to Jimmy Graham. He's actually putting his all out there tonight. A bunch of big plays from this big tight end, and this is what we've missed from Jimmy Graham ever since he came to Seattle, and I love what Austin Davis and him have been able to do so far.
Shotgun formation for Davis. He's got Rawls in the backfield. 3 wide receivers, 2 over the left, 1 to the right. He's going to toss it to Thomas Rawls over the left side. He's got blocking out there. He's got room. Thomas Rawls finds the end zone for the 3rd time. 30 yards out. 3 first-half touchdowns for Thomas Rawls. And the Seattle Seahawks, with a new quarterback at the helm, showing no signs of slowing down. They're up 20-0 here at home.
This is going absolutely nowhere near where I thought it was going to go with this Seattle offense. Austin Davis is putting on such a, talented looking show tonight that I didn't expect from him at all. And then you throw in Rawls, what he's doing on the ground. Getting the ball outside with Rawls is one of the most dangerous things you can do as an offense in the NBL.
You're doing your best Sonny Weaver impression. As last night he predicted that the Jacksonville Jaguars were going to win the game, and they did not. It was not particularly close, and now 21-0 in Seattle. So if anybody from the NBL Network gives you a prediction, go the opposite way, apparently. That's what we have to do.
We all have the Deca curse.
Well, yeah, and I'm having flashbacks to TFA trying to predict the NBL draft, because that was
TFA.
Beautiful. That was some beautiful incompetence there.
Yeah.
His best friend, Kyle himself, just with the Seattle Seahawks, just completely screwed him. Told him he's going one way, went the other, made him look silly on a live broadcast. As that run goes nowhere, going to bring up a 2nd and 10.
I think right there, once again, you see the rookie in Mac come out. Instead of just patiently hitting that wide open hole, he kind of panics, gets too excited, chops his feet way too much, and allows the defense to catch up to him there. That hole was wide open. You could have driven a bus through there.
A 2nd and 10 for the Indianapolis Colts, and you can get some points before the half. Blitz comes, Luck gets it off, looking over to the left side, diving catch over there. T.Y. Hilton, he missed the big catch on the last drive. He's able to come up with one there on the dig route. He can get 13 yards and a 1st down for the Indianapolis Colts offense, looking to get any sort of momentum and cut into this lead.
That's what I need to see. I need to see that more from all of these wide receivers for all of the drops we've seen so far. Andrew Luck's going to put it where it needs to be. You need to go get it and make sure that you complete the play with the ball in your hands, because so far we've seen too many drops. I love what I'm seeing. Laying out for the ball there from T.Y. Hilton.
1st and 10 for the Indianapolis Colts. Ball on the 38-yard line. 3 wide receivers for Andrew Luck. 2 over to the left, 1 to the right. He's got Mack in the backfield on 1st and 10. It's Luck dropping back to pass, and he gets this one off quickly. Finding Moncrief underneath at the 46-yard line. Give him 8 yards on that one. This Indianapolis Colts defensive line, that was Aiken with the catch. Indianapolis Colts offensive line struggling with a very talented Seattle defensive line lip. Would you like to see Indianapolis look for more of those underneath throws? Because Luck's going to have to get rid of this ball quickly if he's going to stay upright.
Yeah, the way that this offensive line really can't seem to allow Luck to get to his second and third reads is a big question. They can't run block at all. So I think that Andrew Luck's going to have to let his wide receivers catch the ball short, and you're really going to have to play the yak game here against this defense.
2nd and 2 for Luck and the Colts. 3 wide receivers once again. It's going to be a handoff to Mack. Trying to find something, and he runs into a brick wall, gets hit in the hole. He's only going to get 1 yard on that play. Cam Chancellor laying the thunder in the hole and forcing a 3rd and 1 from the Colts.
Welcome to the NBL, young Mac. That was... You just ran head down into Cam Chancellor, and you got whopped. That is not a good look.
Not what they were hoping to see out of that run. Cam Chancellor laying the lumber, and Mac's going to remember Cam Chancellor next time he comes to Seattle. He's going to have nightmares of Chancellor hitting him in the hole. Now a big 3rd and 1 for the Colts, needing some sort of points before the half, down 21-0. It's going to be Andrew Luck breaking the huddle, and they're going to come out big formation. 3 tight ends, 2 over to the left, 1 to the right. Got 2 in the backfield. As it looks like Averill might have jumped on that play. No flag, and they bring down the fullback Johnson for a 1-yard loss. They're going to be forced to punt this one away. And Lip, I got to say, I absolutely hate the play call, especially after seeing what happened. A fullback dive in a 3 tight end set. You know they're going to be running it up the middle. Would have liked to see something maybe to the outside, or even Andrew Luck throwing it there on 3rd and 1.
The worst thing that you can do against this defense is basically say, hey, this is what we're going to do, and that's what the Colts just did with that formation.
And
beautiful punt.
Look at the special teams coming into play down at the 1-yard line. But yeah, look, back to that last play. You know the Seattle defensive line has been absolutely dominating your offensive line. Why go for the inside run on that play?
The only thing that I can think of is they just did not have the confidence to hold up on the pass rush. They thought, get their big guys out there, get the tight ends out there, try to block. But the thing is, you put all of that play, you put all the pressure of that play on basically your center and guard, who have been allowing pressure to come through all night. And they did it once again. They allowed that to come through, and the fullback just had nowhere to go. He was stopped way before the line of scrimmage.
1st and 10. What a situation here for Austin Davis as he is in his own end zone. Ball on the 1-yard line. It's going to be a handoff to Thomas Rawls, who is stopped. It's a safety. Thomas Rawls stopped in the end zone in Indianapolis, clearly with the brilliant play getting stopped on 3rd down and getting the 2 points and the ball back. This was clearly a well-calculated maneuver by the Indianapolis Colts.
Oh, you can't draw it up any better than that. We're going to punt the ball down to the 1 and get the 2 points off of safety. And what a kick there.
Well, that was quite a punt.
Wow,
that was quite a
punt.
I'm surprised that I thought it looked like Rawls might have gotten out of the end zone with his second effort.
I think he did. I think we've seen 2 calls tonight. Jimmy Graham in the back of the end zone and Thomas Rawls staying in the end zone, I
You would
guess.
think you'd get the homer refs here in Seattle, but clearly they've got the Indianapolis Colts players on their daily fantasy league as Andrew Luck's in the shotgun here, and a big opportunity after getting 2 points. Now with that classic football score of 21-2, Luck dropping back to pass, and he throws that one past everybody who was on his own team and past everybody who was on the other team. It's an incomplete pass. Going to bring up a 2nd and 10.
Trying to do way too much there. That linebacker stuck to that inside guy. The halfback snuck out right up the middle, was wide open. Could have picked up some yards. It's not the big flashy play that you want. It's not going to get you into field goal range, but it's going to keep the ball moving and pick up some yards so you're not in a 2nd and 10. Just Andrew Luck trying to do too much there.
21-2 Seattle on top. Indianapolis with the ball, though. Minute 24 to go here in the first half. They have all 3 timeouts. And this number 2 passing attack has not gotten going so far here in Seattle. They're needing some points out of the offense as Luck's dropping back to pass here on 2nd and 10. Looks over to the left side and a nice little hitch route. And T.Y. Hilton cannot come up with the catch once again. T.Y. Hilton's a big part of this attack. That's the reason why they're the number 2 passing attack in the NBL. But so far, we have seen T.Y. Hilton drop some pretty big balls in this game, and it's going to be a 3rd and 10.
The sad thing is, I believe Andrew Luck's 5 of 11 right now. He could easily be 8 or 9 for 11 if his wide receivers could just hang on to the ball. And the defense isn't even making that, they're not making the great plays to knock the ball out. They're just straight up dropping it. And that's a big concern whenever you rely on your passing game this much.
Now a 3rd and 10 for the Colts. Luck dropping back to pass here on 3rd down. Steps up in the pocket, looks to the corner route, and that is T.Y. Hilton. And T.Y. Hilton once again cannot make the catch through contact. And right after the safety, the Colts are going to have to punt the ball back to the Seattle Seahawks. And the Seahawks are going to get the ball back up 21-2 with 3 timeouts. A disastrous drive for the Indianapolis Colts.
I'm not going to put so much of that on T.Y. Hilton. That was a tough catch between 2 defenders. Andrew Luck probably didn't see anything else, but still, this is pretty bad that you're going to give the Seattle Seahawks the ball with timeouts at the 45 to where they could complete a couple passes, run the ball, kick a field goal, and extend this lead.
Yeah, if you're the Seattle Seahawks, you're up 21-2. You're in no hurry. A field goal itself would put you up by 22, and I would be looking at running the ball. Thomas Rawls has had no problems getting yards in this game. He's got 3 touchdowns already in the first half. It would not surprise me if they hand the ball off, but they might put it in the hands of young Austin Davis as Eddie Lacy into the game at running back. 2 wide receivers to each side for Austin Davis here. 1:07 to go here in the first half. Seattle looking to extend their lead as they're going to switch it up, put 3 wide receivers over on the left side of that formation. Jimmy Graham alone on the right side, 1st and 10. And it's going to be a handoff to Eddie Lacy. And Eddie Lacy, wow, he looked real slow there. He goes down for a loss of 3 yards.
Was he walking?
No, I think that was full speed.
Full sprint Eddie Lacy.
Eddie, you can't have Popeyes before the game. You got to have something with a little more carbs. Oh, Eddie Lacy.
I would stick with Rawls.
Yeah.
If I had to guess.
I would not be going to the Eddie Lacy show. It's all the time in the world for Austin Davis. He takes off. He takes a big hit, but fights through contact to get a bunch of yards to the 48-yard line. An injury on the play, but it does not look like it's Austin Davis, folks. Everybody in Seattle panicking. It might be another quarterback. But Austin Davis, a great job there of recognizing nobody was open downfield. He takes off, and it gets him down to a 3rd and 2.
I loved it. While I was watching this
slide,
play,
young fella.
I thought, wow, it's very impressive to see the inexperienced quarterback who's been cool all night, not force the ball, run, just pick up what you can. But then he didn't slide, took that big hit, and I thought, oh no, if he goes down, what are we going to have here?
Just slide, big fella. Just get down, do that little baseball slide, avoid the hit. As on 3rd and 2, I think they're going to get a 1st down here. They are. The hard count gets the Colts to jump, and so far in this game, Lip, we talked about whether this Colts team could challenge for the AFC South. I'm not sure if they could challenge for a MAC title at this point, as they have looked completely outmatched here in Seattle.
Yeah, we knew that the offense was going to have some struggles against such an elite defense, but I never expected them to be completely dead on both sides of the ball like this.
Wildcat, and it's going to be Thomas Rawls keeping. He does not hand it to Eddie Lacy, and he's got the 1st down, and look at him make a man miss, and Jimmy Graham doing the best defense of the day, getting in the way of Thomas Rawls, as with the injury just looked like some cramping from the left end for the Indianapolis Colts. A disastrous start to this game. What is there anything that Indianapolis can do, or are they just completely overmatched?
It appears that they are completely overwhelmed by this defense on the offensive side of the ball. I'm not sure if I'm not even sure if it's possible to come back the way the guys have been dropping the ball. You need to make some adjustments at half, get the ball out quicker, some short stuff. Try to play that yards after catch game. It's going to be tough to come back, but I'm actually going to go off topic here. I was really hoping Eddie Lacy would take a jet sweep right there.
I think he's about as fast as Andrew Luck as another encroachment penalty. That's another one. Undisciplined play on the Indianapolis Colts side, and they're just giving more yards to a Seattle team that does not have any trouble moving the ball so far in this game. 23 seconds to go here in the first half. Seattle looking to extend their lead as they're down on the 15-yard line. 1st and 5 for the neon green Seattle Seahawks. Shotgun formation. Austin Davies out there. 3 wide receivers over to the left. Jimmy Graham split out alone to the right side. Eddie Lacy into the game in the backfield. 1st and 5. Davis dropping back to pass here on 1st down. The rush gets there. Down goes Davis in the backfield. Woods with the sack. And it looks like Seattle's just going to settle for a field goal at this point. But 24-2 if they put this through the uprights. And an absolutely disastrous first half for the Indianapolis Colts as the Seahawks lining up this field goal. Snap is up, kick is down, kick is up, and it is good. And Seattle is going to extend their lead 24-2. 1 second remaining, though. 22-point lead for Seattle. Lip, is this an example of Seattle has played extremely well, or is this Indianapolis has played extremely poorly in the first half?
It's definitely both, and I don't mean that just to say both, but Austin Davis has been extremely impressive. Huge hit there. Wow.
Wolf, I felt that one.
Austin Davis has been, he really brought back the element of having to fear both the pass and the run. Thomas Rawls has done a phenomenal job carrying this team, but Austin Davis has stepped up and done what he had to do to make the defense fear the pass. As far as the Colts, their big issue on offense is catching the football. So, like I said, I want to see some short stuff. Try to get the yards after catch, because you're not going to be able to do it going down the field the way these hands have been with these wide receivers.
Namely T.Y. Hilton. T.Y. Hilton has had a lot of big drops in this game so far.
Having a bad game.
Yeah, he's not doing well. And he's going to need to play better here in the second half. If the Colts are going to have any chance whatsoever, they're down 22 here as we start the second half. Andrew Luck's breaking the huddle. He's got 3 wide receivers split out to the right side. Doyle alone on the left side, and Frank Gore into the game at running back. On 1st and 10, it's Andrew Luck. Look like they're setting up a screen to Frank Gore. And again, we talked about how those neon green jerseys should be easy to see. Gore completely surrounded. He goes down for a 1-yard loss. Indianapolis trying to get some momentum going with a little hurry-up off. 2nd and 11, Luck dropping back to pass here on 2nd down. He's going to get this one off. He finds Doyle on the left side. Nice job getting that ball off quickly. And it's a big first down for the Indianapolis Colts. They're up to the 44-yard line.
And there's another instance of them going after that replacement safety for Earl Thomas. I like that. I think he's a little bit – I think he has a lot of skill to him that they might be underestimating him, but they've had success twice now whenever they've attacked him. So maybe that might be the weak spot that they can start to get some success on.
Andrew Luck in the shotgun with Frank Gore. Interesting formation. 3 offensive linemen at the line. They're going to try a little trickeration, and this one's only going to get up to the 49-yard line. Give him 7 yards on that play. And while we have a moment here in the third quarter, we want to give a big shout-out to our graphics sponsor, web3ks.com. They do that overlay you see here on NBL Live and a bunch of other graphics for us across the NBL network. So if you need any graphics done for an affordable price, anyone you know needs graphics done for an affordable price, head over to web3ks.com. They are the leaders in affordable graphic design. Big shout out to all bidders at web3ks.com. One of our sponsors of our EA Access tournament, and has been a big friend of the NBL network, creating all sorts of graphics for us across the network. A big 2nd and 3 here for the Indianapolis Colts, looking to get anything going on the offensive side of the ball. Andrew Luck's going to break the huddle. 3 wide receivers split out to that left side. Doyle, the tight end, alone on the right side of that formation. Frank Gore in at halfback. Play clock down under 7 seconds to go, and Luck changing up the play. 5 seconds to go. Switching everybody over to the right side. 1 second to go, and Indianapolis is going to be forced to take a timeout. Lip, we've seen a lot of this in this game. We saw some offsides on the other side of the ball, some undisciplined play with the catches, and now an inability to get the play call. This Indianapolis team doesn't seem mentally ready to play here in Seattle.
Absolutely not. The defense is too anxious. The offense is too indecisive. Nobody knows what they're doing, but collectively they are making this game a lot tougher for them to come back in.
Andrew Luck looking to pass. He's just going to toss this one underneath. It is complete down to the 43-yard line. Dante Moncrief's 2nd catch on the day. Luck looked panicked on that play, but was able to find his one wide receiver who's actually been trusty on this day, Dante Moncrief, and a first down for the Indianapolis Colts.
That was actually a play, pass that you did not expect to be completed. The defender was all over Moncrief there. I'm surprised he came up with it, but maybe that says that's the guy that you need to go to, because like we've talked about, T.Y. Hilton has no idea how to catch a football tonight.
And this one thrown over to the left side of that formation, and that one just into what appeared to be triple coverage. Incomplete pass. Lucky that wasn't intercepted. Going to bring up a 2nd and 10 for this Indianapolis Colts team, who Lip has termed incredibly one-dimensional. They have not been able to run the ball at all and have forced it to be the Andrew Luck show.
Yeah, I think you're seeing Frank Gore come in to try to help with the pass blocking. Mac might not be ready for that role, so they're all out pass mode right now. So Frank Gore's going to try to pick up that blitz and give Andrew Luck a little bit of extra time to throw.
2nd and 10, deep shot for Andrew Luck, and lucky that one wasn't intercepted. And now it's just starting to look like Andrew Luck trying to make things happen. What appears to be magically as he forces the ball downfield and into triple coverage. It's incomplete pass. Going to bring up a 3rd and 10. The Colts not out of this game yet, but 4:01 to go. They're going to need Andrew Luck to make better decisions.
Yeah, and if you're just going to throw the ball up there, that's the worst of the options to throw it up to. You had a middle linebacker underneath, a safety over top, and the guy in man coverage all on that one receiver. If you're going to throw it up, throw it to one of the outside guys that's in single coverage. Like you said, I think Andrew Luck's just trying to force something because they've had nothing to be proud of today.
3rd and 10 for the Colts. 3 wide receivers to the right. T.Y. Hilton alone on the left side of that formation. Frank Gore into the game at halfback. Andrew Luck driving back to pass here on 3rd and 10. Steps up, tries to find someone over the seam, and that one ripped out of his hands. Incomplete pass. That completion rating continues to go down, and the Indianapolis Colts going to be forced to punt it at the 43-yard line, and Seattle seems completely in control of this game.
Yeah, and like we talked about, the defense is so dominant. They bring 3 guys up front. They rush 2 from the back end, and Andrew Luck just looks panicked as soon as the ball gets to his hands.
And now the Seattle Seahawks firmly in control, up 24-2. Gotta love anybody having only 2 points in a football game. A safety on a Thomas Rawls run. It was a beautiful punt. Probably one of the only good plays by the Indianapolis Colts. They downed a punt inside the 1-yard line and were able to stop Thomas Rawls in the end zone for a safety. That was questionable, to say the least. It looked like Rawls got out of the end zone, but they called it a safety, and that's the 2 points that Indianapolis has. Is Austin Davis in the shotgun. He's going to drop back to pass here on 1st and 10. He's going to toss this underneath to Doug Baldwin. I haven't heard his name so far. He gets his first catch of the day. Austin Davis, the coaching staff has done a great job on Seattle, taking a lot of pressure off of Austin Davis. He's only had to throw the ball 8 times. They've relied on the run game, and all of the reads he's had to make have been very simple.
Yeah, and right now, if the Colts start to get too aggressive and the pass rush doesn't get there, I think with the lack of cover skills in their secondary, it's going to create some easy throws just like you saw there for Austin Davis.
Graham coming in motion here on 1st and 10. It's going to be a handoff to Eddie Lacy into the game, and Lacy's only going to get a yard on that one. Get up to the 36-yard line. Going to bring up a 2nd and 9. I would be surprised if we saw Thomas Rawls at any point here in the second half. With all the injury problems that Seattle has had, they don't want to lose their number 1 running back.
Yeah, that would be the worst thing that happened for this team with such a big lead later in the game. I like what I saw in the previous play from Doug Baldwin. Just getting out, get the yards that you can, and get out of bounds, because this team has already had to deal with some injury issues. You don't need any more in a game like this.
2nd and 9 for the Seattle Seahawks as the 2 tight ends going to move over to the left side of that formation. Baldwin split out to left. Kerr split out to the right here on 2nd and 9. It's a play-action pass. Davis going to be looking to throw the ball, and he dumps this underneath. Wow, almost intercepted. That route looked jumped, but unable to come up with the interception. And the Seattle Seahawks, lucky they didn't turn it over, but up 24-2. That one actually looked like a decent throw, looked like a better play by the defender on that one. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 9.
One of the rare bright spots that we've seen from the Colts defense tonight. They brought kind of a unique blitz there that Austin Davis probably wasn't used to. Tried to make a good read there, but just had some confusion on the defensive side.
And that one is an interception. Austin Davis overthrowing his receiver, and he is off to the races. He's up to the 30. Spin move making Austin Davis look silly. Malik Hooker with another interception. He has played phenomenally in the secondary for the Indianapolis Colts. The first bad throw of the day from Austin Davis. And then to add insult to injury, got absolutely juked out with that spin move. And now Indianapolis an opportunity to put some quick points on the board and get right back in this ball game.
The read was not terrible. The throw, however, was just not good.
It was terrible.
It was an Austin Davis-like throw. You know, that's why he is,
Welcome to the network,
a backup
baby.
in this league.
As he throws a touchdown, big shout out to Miguel Lopez, who just subscribed to the network. And what timing as Andrew Luck throws a touchdown in the Indianapolis Colts. I almost called them the Andrew-napolis Colts, because that's sort of what Indianapolis is at this point. 24-8, they cut it back down as it looks like they're going to go for 2 and try to cut it to a 14-point game. But that's how quickly games can turn. A turnover by Austin Davis in Indianapolis on the next play gets a huge touchdown, one they sorely need. And now Andrew Luck comes out, 4 wide receivers, 3 out to the right. Welcome to the network, baby.
Shout out to Joseph Bias, also just subscribing to the NBL network. As it's a quick throw, it is complete, and T.Y. Hilton holds on to that one, folks. 2 points for the Colts. They're only down 14.
Baby.
Here we go. T.Y. Hilton redeeming himself there. Back-to-back plays. That's what we needed. And now it's a 14-point game. You're going to put the pressure on Austin Davis, and I wonder if there's going to be a point, big hit there, that they might get in a position where they think about bringing Rawls back in. This could get interesting.
Shout out to James Fenner also with the sub. We appreciate everybody subscribing here to the network. And we hope you guys will tune into our plethora of NBL Live games, folks. We've got 12 regular season games on the schedule, not to mention the entire playoffs will be broadcasted as well. You don't want to miss any of the shows we have here on the NBL Network, so hit that subscribe button as the Indianapolis Colts come out. I formation, Eddie Lacy in the game. They still feel comfortable with Lacy at the running back position. It's going to be a toss play to Eddie Lacy. Oh, boy. Whoa, buddy. Oh, no.
No.
That's not what you were looking for.
Do we
Put me in, coach. I'm ready to play.
Do we have to explain the negative things about running a toss play with Eddie Lacy? Does it need talked about?
We need a stopwatch. What is going on? The worst part was the Indianapolis Colts had that read from the beginning, and the cornerback was just waiting for that toss play to get there, and Lacy decided, I'm not going to cut it back inside. Watch me blow you away with my 5'4" speed, and he gets taken down for a 2-yard loss as Davis going to be looking deep down the middle of the field, and the young fellow looking a little rattled here. Remember, he started this game 4 of 7. He's now 4 of 11 passing, and that one nowhere close to any one of his receivers.
Yeah, we're getting. I hope that Austin Davis is not getting rattled and blows this lead. We've seen 2 terrible passes from him the last 2 attempts. I need to see something smart from this play calling right now, because if you turn the ball over right here, which we know Austin Davis is capable of, that could really be a bad situation because there's still a ton of time left in the 14-point game.
Yeah, that was a huge quick touchdown for the Indianapolis Colts. As now on 3rd and 12, the Colts have an opportunity for a huge stop. It's going to be handoff to Eddie Lacy up the middle this time, and that's what the big fella can do. And look at him break away, and he's caught unsurprisingly around the 32-yard line. But Eddie Lacy, give the big fella the ball up the middle. You didn't run toss plays with Jerome Bettis. You don't do it with Eddie Lacy.
Eddie Lacy maybe heard us poking some fun at his 5'4" 40 speed.
Now I can hear him huffing and puffing from up here.
He won't be back till week 8.
Yeah, he's done. His injury is nap time. He needs to go sit down for a while. As Thomas Rawls unsurprisingly into the game after that extremely long run for Eddie Lacy. As Davis is under center, looks like he's going to hand off to Rawls over the left side. Look at him spin! And he gets cut down at the 25-yard line. Rawls 12 carries, 113 yards, and 3 touchdowns in the game already. This Seattle rushing attack, it's been fantastic. Indianapolis cannot find a way to stop these guys on the ground.
Yeah, and right there, we talked about Rawls maybe coming back in. He comes in there probably to relieve the poor Eddie Lacy, who just ran 430 yards.
Get that man a corn dog.
Oh, he's back in. Low hit.
No, he's back in.
Oh, there he is.
Eddie Lacy is okay.
I love some Eddie Lacy.
Lacy, watch. 2017, the 2nd and 3. It's a handoff to Lacy. That's not Eddie Lacy's fault. You got to block that guy coming off the edge. He is taken out immediately. Lucky that one wasn't fumbled. Barcavius Mingo not only has a great first name and one that I'm going to use for my first child, but a big tackle there, bringing up a 3rd and 7.
I'm not sure what the plan was, but
there was no plan on that play.
I hope it wasn't to leave that guy completely unblocked to eat Eddie Lacy alive.
Guys, we got a great plan here. Don't block him. It'll work out. Don't worry. No, it didn't work out. 3rd and 7. As Austin Davis is going to take off once again. He's fighting for the first down, takes another hit, and I believe he got it. He did not. Of course he didn't. I don't like to say bad things about the refs, but there's another questionable call that has gone against the Seattle Seahawks here at home.
Yeah, we've seen several of them tonight, and once again, slide, take the field goal. You know, it's not worth getting hurt and throwing this entire game away. You've done okay to this point. You've relied on the run game. Just slide and take the points.
The big play on that one is Seattle extends it back to a 3-score lead. The big one on that one, on 3rd and 12, the Colts could not stop a simple run play as Eddie Lacy was able to break that one for 45 yards. And the Seattle Seahawks, with a field goal, that may be an underrated score, as you may think, well, it's only a field goal, but putting them up 3 scores and we're about to hit the 4th quarter, that could have been a huge turning point for this game.
It's tough to say. Indianapolis has to look at their defense whenever they go into practice next week and say that this game really turned around whenever Eddie Lacy broke off a massive run against the defense. That's going to be tough to look at.
That's tough.
Yeah, that is very tough. They were in good position. And then Eddie Lacy damaged their defense. I don't know if they could come back from that one.
That's a killer thing to hear in the film room as Andrew Luck in the shotgun, 4 wide receivers dropping back to pass here on 1st and 10. He's going to dump this off underneath to Mack running a little Texas route. It is complete to the 43-yard line. We're going to reach the 4th quarter. Our score 27-10, Seattle on top here at home. We appreciate everybody tuning in here to MBL Live broadcast number 122. I'm OSU. I'm hanging out with my man Lip. As we watch some Week 4 action, folks. Again, Week 5, we have no game. We're leaving you the weekend to watch all of the college football and NFL matchups you want, but we'll be back with Week 6 action here on the MBL Network. 1st and 10, Andrew Luck in the shotgun, 3 wide receivers, 2 to the left, 1 to the right. Luck dropping back to pass here on 1st and 10, and he's going to be taking a deep shot once again, and he is going to throw an interception. An absolute, it was one-on-one coverage. He was looking for T.Y. Hilton, and Hilton couldn't even make a play on the ball. And the fat lady may not be singing, but she's warming up, gargling water in the back and getting ready to go on stage.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I didn't see anything there. That looked covered the whole way. You haven't had much success going deep down the field, maybe once so far this entire game. I don't know why you would force it whenever you're trying to get the comeback alive. Just a poor decision there by Andrew Luck.
Oh, Eddie Lacy's juke move. Oh, Eddie Lacy's juke move. Oh, big fella, can you get out of here? Now they're all running you down. But Eddie Lacy's wow, Eddie Lacy up to 96 yards, and with the slowest juke move in the world is able to get down the field. And the Seattle Seahawks, I mean, how impressive has this offensive line been today, opening up holes for both Lacy and Rawls?
Early on, they let the Colts defensive tackle burst through that line twice. And I thought it was going to be a long night for this offense, but not only do you get Thomas Rawls 100 yards, 3 touchdowns, get him out of the game, you bring in Eddie Lacy who can put up 100 yards. That is saying something about this offensive line and, sadly, the Colts' run defense.
Now a 1st and 10 for the Seattle Seahawks. He's giving handoff to Thomas Rawls. Eddie Lacy needing a breather after that one. Rawls is going to get up 2 yards on that one to the 32-yard line. Going to bring up a 2nd and 8. As the Seattle Seahawks completely dominant in this game so far. Looked like the Colts' momentum had shifted after the interception thrown by Austin Davis and a quick score by Andrew Luck and the offense. But it turns out when you can't stop Eddie Lacy running the ball on a 3rd and 12, you're probably not destined to win this game, as Lacy broke off a big run there. He only has 6 carries, but is at 96 yards on the day with 2 huge runs that have pretty much put this game out of reach here on 2nd and 8. Shotgun formation for Davis. He's going to hand off to Eddie Lacy, who has another big hole, has another 1st down. And the Seattle Seahawks now have 2 rushers over 100 yards in the game. The Seattle Seahawks rushing attack, who is number 4 in the NBL Lib, they're looking somehow much better than the 4th best rushing attack.
Yeah, it's impressive. Like you said, both guys over 100 yards. It's time to get C.J. Procise or Chris Carson in there, get them over 100 yards, because this run game is absolutely unstoppable. It's just clear. You cannot stop these guys. The offensive line is doing work for their run game for Seattle.
Well, there's only one person I want to see in that running back right now. Let's bring Blair Walsh into the game. He deserves a shot at running back. I think anybody could play running back right now, and how the Seattle Seahawks offensive line has been playing so far. As that one, the Indianapolis Colts just bring an 8-man rush, and we're able to stop Eddie Lacy in the background for a 1-yard loss. Going to bring up a 2nd and 11. Austin Davis breaking the huddle. 2 tight ends on the right side of that formation. Doug Baldwin split out to the left. Rawls into the game at the top of the eye. So we hand up to the fullback, Reese. Marcel Reese trying to find something up the middle. He'll get that 1 yard back. It's going to bring down to a 3rd and 10 as Indianapolis is going to use their 2nd timeout of the second half.
I would really like to not see Thomas Rawls touch the ball the rest of the game. I think this is in hand. Eddie Lacy and the other guys can handle the run game from here on out. I don't like seeing him in there. Even though he didn't get the ball there, I just don't want to see any more Thomas Rawls. The guy is too dynamic for you to lose.
Yeah, he has been absolutely fantastic today. 3 first-half touchdowns. He's been able to take a breather on the sidelines while Eddie Lacy did his thing. And for all the jokes, he has been really good in the second half, breaking off 2 long runs. A big credit to the offensive line. And the Indianapolis Colts just have been completely outmatched here on the West Coast as Austin Davis comes out. He is in the pistol formation. He's got 3 in the backfield with him. Looks like he's going to hand off to Eddie Lacy. A little counter play as Lacy somehow jukes out yet another defender, and he's going to go down at the 21-yard line. Loss of 1. Indianapolis using their last time out here with 3:30 to go. And Seattle looking to kick a field goal to go up by 3 touchdowns.
Not only have we talked about you let Eddie Lacy go for 100 yards, now you've let him juke you twice to pick up extra yards. I don't understand what's going on with this defense.
It doesn't come down to, at the end of the day, the biggest thing I've seen, what might be the difference, I don't know the talent difference between these two teams. I know that many people have said that the Seattle Seahawks team is a more talented football team. But more than anything, the Seattle Seahawks just seem like a more disciplined football team. No penalties, very clean on their blocking assignments, where on the other side, the Indianapolis Colts have been jumping off sides. They've been missing tackles left and right. They just seem like an undisciplined group.
Yeah, I think, I said it early on, I think they're just way too eager. I think that they feel outmatched. I don't know if they're trying to make up with it with extra effort, but it's just been killing them all night. The penalties were big. I think that there was twice in a row they gave up 5 yards a clip, put them in a first down. That's just not something that you can have whenever you're playing a team that's running the ball and playing good defense like Seattle.
1st and 10 now for the Indianapolis Colts. Don't forget they had a false start earlier in the game as well. 30-10 Seattle on top. Luck dropping to pass here on 1st and 10. He's looking over to the right side. That one's batted up in the air, and if that's not intercepted, then you should probably quit playing defense as Cam Chancellor comes down with the pick, makes a man miss, and Andrew Luck's second tackle of the day. I'll put that big fella on defense, Indy.
We've got a major problem here. Eddie Lacy has stomped your run defense, and Andrew Luck has made more tackles than your entire defense. The Colts have a mess of issues right now. And I would not want to be one of their players at practice next week.
Yeah, I feel like the wind sprints are going to be coming out as on 1st and 10. Great field position for the Seattle Seahawks as they're just trying to get out of this game without any injuries. Eddie Lacy.
Welcome to the network, baby.
A big shout out to Derek Wayne just subscribing to the network. Appreciate every one of our subscribers and viewers here on the NBL network. As the handoff to Eddie Lacy right up the middle. Nothing doing there. It's going to be a no gain. Going to bring up a 2nd and 10 for the Seattle Seahawks. Again, Lip, if you're Seattle, you're just crossing your fingers that nobody gets hit too hard.
Yeah, and I'm actually making that same call on the Colts side of the ball. You cannot afford to lose T.Y. Hilton, Dante Moncrief, or especially Andrew Luck. So at this point, they kick a field goal here. I would just pack it in, save my starters because injuries have killed some teams so far.
Oh, Eddie Lacy just bowled over a defender,
oh,
and he's going to go down at the 3-yard line. As I think the injury is that defender that got absolutely trucked by the big freight train that is Eddie Lacy down to the 3-yard line. Seattle just trying to run this clock out as another big run. And Lip, we asked in the pregame if this Indianapolis team could challenge for an AFC South title. I think if this game is any indication, the Colts probably not looking at a title this year because this Seattle team is not the most talented in the NBL, but they have been completely outmatched.
If you can't stop Eddie Lacy, you're not going to stop DeMarco Murray, Derrick Henry, Leonard Fournette. It's just going to be a long season for this defense.
Yeah, 1st and goal. Wilson going in motion from the right to the left here on 1st down. It's going to be handoff to Eddie Lacy over the left side. He's going to stumble forward to the line of scrimmage. 12 carries, 124 yards for Lacy. Rawls at 119 yards and 3 touchdowns in Seattle. Completely in control of this game. While we have a moment, let's throw up that NBL live schedule. So everyone knows what's coming up later this season. No game next week, folks. Enjoy all of the NFL and college football on the TV. But week 6, an interesting matchup that I believe might be getting changed between the Browns and the Texans. The one I'm looking forward to, Lip, and I got to ask you about. You got that week 8 matchup. It's a rematch of the season 25 Super Bowl between the Detroit Lions and your Pittsburgh Steelers. I know we're only in week 4, about to go to week 5. Are you looking ahead to that game? Are you seeing it or on the horizon?
Yeah, we've looked at it, but, this is a week-to-week thing. You've got to, especially now, you've got to stay healthy this week before you even start considering looking ahead to future weeks because health with this year is a huge thing. And I don't look forward too much because I want to stay healthy and make smart decisions right now.
3rd and goal. Seattle's just going to take a knee and try to run out this clock as we're under the 2-minute warning. 30-10 Seattle on top. Let's go to the flip side of this game, Lip. How good is this Seattle Seahawks team? It appears they're the class of that NFC West. It seems like they're in complete control of the division. So compared to the grand scheme of things, is this a team that could make a deep run come NBL playoff time?
Oh, I think if they run the ball well, there's some questionable run defenses that I think will be in the NFC playoffs. I don't think that their schedule is too tough for these Seahawks. So I look for two things. They can get enough wins to get the division locked down, get in the playoffs, and I think they can do it while staying healthy with that dominant run game. I definitely think that they could make a run in the playoffs just as long as Russell Wilson comes back and stays healthy.
Yeah, I believe Wilson is going to be out for another 4 weeks, so Austin Davis is going to be at the helm for a while. I believe Trevon Boykin is out for another 7 weeks at least. But Seattle with a big win here on NBL Live. Up 33-10. Indianapolis is going to get the ball here and probably just try to make something happen, make the score a little more respectable. And coming into this game, Lip, we thought Andrew Luck was going to be a key for the Indianapolis Colts. And you look at this game, you saw he threw 2 interceptions, and his completion percentage way down. But as we've said all game, a lot of this is not on Andrew Luck. It's on the offensive line unable to get the run game going, and the wide receivers did not make many big plays.
Yeah, there was no run game whatsoever at any point in this game to help out Andrew Luck. Like I said, sometime in the first half, excuse me, Andrew Luck was 5 for 11. He could have easily been 8 or 9 for 11 if his wide receivers just could hang onto the ball. He got no help today, and it's just hard to watch all of that go down.
That was a big run. They finally got a big run, and it's from 75-year-old Frank Gore up the middle. He gets to the 44-yard line. I want to see a Frank Gore-Eddie Lacy foot race. That's all I want to see in life.
Do you have like 4 hours to watch that?
I got time to kill, yeah. There's no football on tomorrow night. We could set that up tomorrow. And I'm just saying 100-meter dash. You just set it up for a couple minutes.
Do you think they would make it 100 meters?
No comment. Neither of them have made it to the end zone yet, so I think that the important thing was if you just put some snacks at the end of the race. You let them know that there was popcorn at the end. I think they would just haul it. They'd go. Let the big fellas run, folks. Put something out there to give them some motivation. 33-10 as we're just waiting the official double zeros as Indianapolis looks content just to run the ball and, I don't know, try to get their rushing rank from 32nd to 31st. Now they're going to go out 5 wide receivers. Why not at this point? 20 seconds to go. Andrew Luck dropping back to pass. He's going to take a deep shot over the left side. And look at that. Another drop. This one by the running back, Mack. And that's been the story for Indianapolis today, Lip. No real big plays by anybody and a lot of undisciplined plays.
Yeah, and I don't even understand why you're taking that shot there. You risk getting Mack hurt. You risk getting a lineman hurt. You risk getting Andrew Luck hurt. There's less than 30 seconds left. Just go into next week with all of your guys intact.
Deep shot for Andrew Luck, and T.Y. Hilton comes up with the catch there and takes a huge hit as he's lucky he's not injured. I don't know if they're going to be able to get another playoff. 4 seconds, 3, 2, 1. They somehow get another playoff. Can they get in the end zone? Luck gets hit and throws an interception to Bobby Wagner, and what a fitting way to end this game, folks. The Seattle Seahawks with a big win at home, 33-10. And it's time now to make our selection for the NBL Live Player of the Game here for broadcast number 122. Lip, if I could give it to both of the running backs, I would, because Eddie Lacy did a great job in the second half. He really did. But Thomas Rawls, he only played 1 half, and that was all he needed to play. 3 touchdowns. He really set the tone for Seattle.
Yeah, it's extremely impressive to see what Eddie Lacy did tonight. He really put this game away for the Seattle Seahawks. But, of course, Thomas Rawls came out, punched the Colts in the face with over 100 yards and 3 touchdowns. It's extremely impressive, and like we've talked about with this run game, if they stay healthy, they can do a lot of impressive things in the NFC playoffs.
And Thomas Rawls, your player of the game selection for broadcast number 122, and if you want to check out all of our NBL Live player of the games, you can go to our website. That's 365.maddenbomberleague.com under the NBL Live tab. You can check it out all the way back to broadcast number 1. Also there, if you're under the Join tab, you can apply for the NBL and try to get in this great organization that we have here. It's a lot of fun to play here in the NBL. I highly recommend it. Well, again, folks, no NBL Live game for Week 5. We'll be back for Week 6, so hit that subscribe button so you know when we're live. And check out the NBL Weekly Update coming out on Monday. That'll give you your game times for NBL Live and all the podcasts that are released. For my co-host, Lip, I'm OSU. Your final score, once again, the Indianapolis Colts falling on the road to the Seattle Seahawks. Seahawks on top 33-10. We'll see you for some Week 6 action here on NBL Live.